complicated for me, this one. When I'm, again, you notice like today's theme clearly is effectiveness, right? So I want to be as effective as I can be in interpersonal situations. When I'm letting someone know that I'm impacted, part of my being effective is to be as clear in my communication as I can be. So, and especially when I think that that person doesn't have the skills to hear me, I want to be as clear as I can in transmitting my message. If I'm the listener, sorry, so that's if I'm the receiver of harm and I'm trying to express that to the other person. If I'm the actor, if I'm the person who did something that was received as harmful, then I want to hold that it's my responsibility to listen, right? So that that person doesn't have to like make things pretty for me to hear them. I need to be putting on my very best listening ears to hear them. So in some ways, really, I'm holding that both people ideally will be doing their part. The speaker will be speaking with as much clarity as they can. The listener will be listening with as much open-heartedness and curiosity as they can. That's an ideal world. In roles where there's structural power differences, like let's use an easy one, right? Parents and child. I really want the parents to be really mindful of their power and say, hey, I'm going to do my very best to hear whatever it is my child is trying to tell me. So if my child is having a massive temper tantrum, I don't say, Mommy can't hear you unless you sit down and calm down, right? I try to understand, like, oh, honey, ooh, you are having some big emotions right now. Is it because of this or is it because of that? And then I hear them. And then we can have another conversation that says, you know, I wonder if you want some help in learning how to like get me to understand you faster the next time so it doesn't have to get so big. And we can have that conversation. That's a separate conversation. I try to hear them first. And I definitely want to have the same stance. I want to make sure that I'm not asking the person who's more likely to have the least amount of resources in the space, someone who's been the recipient of multiple forms of oppression, to be the person to also have to take on the labor of presenting materials in a way that can be heard by the person with more power. So in absence of everything else, that's one of the things I'm looking at. Who's the person who's habitually doing the labor, who's habitually receiving the impact? I want to lessen the burden for them of how they have to show up in order to be heard or to be received, right?